My name is Janet Southcott. So I paint in our dining room in our house, and that's a nice location so that I can be part of the family, see what's going on, and don't need to be closeted away in a little studio somewhere. So I got interested in art from an early age because I grew up in an artistic family, and I knew it was in me, but it wasn't until about 7 or 8 years ago that I just decided, what the heck, I'll just purchase some expensive paints and canvases and brushes, and I already had an indoor easel, and set myself up, and yeah, everything seemed to work. So prior to that, things weren't. I was using cheaper paints, and I couldn't get the colors right, and I'd given up for a number of years. I started with acrylics and using the Golden Open acrylics, which stay wet for much longer and much easier to work with. And just recently I took a class in the summer with an artist, a young artist down in Roberts Creek, and he was using oils. And so I had to look into getting some oils. And I'd always avoided using oils because of the smell and the chemicals involved, and it just wouldn't be conducive to working in the house. But recently people have been creating water-soluble oils, and the water-soluble oils are a lot less harmful and not as much smell. And so I got a few, just 5 different colors, and followed along in the course and really loved using them. I'm sticking with the oils right now and seeing what happens. I'm inspired by everyday nature. I'm inspired, as I take the dog for a walk, I'll be taking my phone with me. I'll take pictures of nature, of blossoms, of flowers, of just scenery. We go sailing. Luckily for me, I married into a sailboat, and so a lot of my inspiration comes from being out on the water and seeing the patterns of light on water, reflection. All right, so I have my painting here at the moment, and most of it's just blocked in. So I've got a rough idea of where shapes are going to be. I've just worked a little bit more on the head of the toadstool here, and I've worked on this leaf, and now I'm just going to be working on this leaf over here, just to add a little bit more depth to it. So I'm just going to mix a few reds together here to get the background color of the leaf, and hopefully add a little bit of 3D effect to the painting. See whether it's anything like, it's not far off. And so usually I just place my photograph up at the top there and give it a go. See what happens. And working in the dining room means that I have the full length of the dining room kitchen to look back, to stand far away from a painting and take a look at it and see, okay, this needs to change, or this isn't working, or this does work. So I've been involved in the studio tour around Powell River for the last 4 or 5 years. So it was a wonderful way of getting to see the people who could be purchasing my art and talking to them face to face about what it was that inspired me to do those paintings. And also listening to how people would be talking to other artists and listening to what they say and listening to feedback. So the studio tour is really important for artists, I think, and it's important for people who are interested in art, whether they're interested in purchasing or just watching or just looking at. So I'm part of the Artique Artist Collective down in Artique Gallery on Alberni Street in Powell River. And so anytime I finish a painting, I've got a gallery space to put it into, which is great. So that's a good place to see all my newest work. I'm also online as well. So somewhere to see everything that I've been doing is janetandjanet.ca, and just going to the gallery there and looking through that website. And I recently became an associate member of Artists for Conservation. So looking up Artists for Conservation online, you'll come to a list of artists. You can find me on there and you can purchase my art through that. And I'm also a member of International Guild of Realism as well for art. So you can see me there too.